So it's not for kids.
Why do you think Google Notes doesn't have right-click paste? You click right-click paste and then it's like, nah, you can't do that. You gotta hit Control V. It's like, okay, geez.
I don't know. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
It's like they took the time to implement that reaction. There's gotta be a reason why. Should we just Google it?
It's like, what? Why is it in their menu?
Doesn't let you. Oh, that's some good English. Why does Google Docs doesn't let you right-click paste?
The world needs to know.
Browser security restrictions that prevent web pages from directly accessing the clipboard.
I was going to say, it's probably some weirdly niche, like cross-site scripting bullshit.
I mean, that makes sense, right? But I could have sworn that there's other applications that I've used that do allow that to do it. But maybe it's all internal to the tool itself. Maybe that's why.
So Control V doesn't access the clipboard? Like, what's the difference between
that's the part that doesn't make sense to me. Like, wouldn't it not work regardless if you use the shortcut or if you use the right click?
Are they different processes somehow?
It must be. I don't know. If you're a savvy user,
yeah,
let us know. This is the
funny thing, because like I'm a software developer. I've written JavaScripts. I find out something like this and I'm just like, what? Why have we been doing it this way, guys? Is this really the best we can do? This is it? And it's
have you seen that contest to like make the worst volume slider possible?
I've seen it too many times, but I
really like it. It's one of those things that, yeah, it's been shared a lot, but like, I think it's pretty funny.
I think there's a lot of really funny ones, but like, I feel like it's becoming like mythologized somehow. Like, it's like peak Redditor content.
Wow, that's insulting.
I mean, tell me I'm wrong, though.
I mean, you're not. Oh my god, I just tried to do the right-click paste. Happy Halloween, everyone. Ooh, this is a spooky episode.
We hope you're being spooktacular out there.
Don't eat too much candy.
Don't eat any razors either. I heard those aren't good for you.
What? Is this a reference to something?
Yeah, you know how they always put razors inside candy? So, like, you have to eat around the razors to make sure you don't cut your gums or whatever. Like, don't forget to, leave the razor.
That's a good call. Yeah. Also, on October 27th is Arkhipov Day. We talked about this last year. It was started by So Very Wrong About Games, but we're paying it forward. On October 27, 1962, Soviet naval officer Vasily Arkhipov prevented a potential nuclear war during the height of the Cuban Missile Crisis. He was given orders to fire a nuclear warhead that would have been retaliated with warheads from the U.S. side. It has been documented since then. Pretty much all life has been determined would have ended on the Earth. So thank you, Arkhipov, for deciding I'm not going to follow this order in the spirit of saving humanity. For
establishing the most based moment in human history, essentially, I think. It's kind of hard to get like more epic than that. At basically your boss being like, bro, go do it. We're fucked. And being like, nah.
Just a reminder, it's even more important every day. If you feel like something is wrong, but it's being pushed forward upon you, challenge it. Don't just do it because you're being told. Doesn't mean be a contrarian, but if you feel strongly that something is not right, it is your duty as a human being, as a person, to stand up for what you believe and to do what's right. I want to give a thank you to Mark Bigney for kind of starting this tradition. Yeah, with that, I think we can jump in. Welcome to Shelf Stable, a podcast celebrating board games that have stood the test of time. I'm your host, Kenny Katayama.
And I'm the other host, Tom Bowers. Today, the featured topic is Kiki or Boba. Is it Kiki or is it Boba? You know the drill. But before we talk about that, let's just talk about some of the stuff that we've been getting to the table within the last couple of weeks. Kenny?
Tom, let's hop on right into this one. This is a kangaroo-based game called Billabong. We had the SimplyFun edition, which is called Hightail It. This was originally published in 1992 and designed by Eric Solomon. Billabong is a game about racing kangaroos around a track. And the way you race them around is by doing a checkers-like hop around other kangaroos. There's like 3 rules and they're on the back of the box. And yeah, there's some nuance as to what a legal move is, but like you can teach this pretty quickly. And it's like, hey, that's my fish, where it's like colorful, it's family friendly. You can play it with kids, you can play it with parents, but it's also thinky enough. And this is like a thing I'm looking for now. So I mentioned checkers. The general gist is that on your turn, you have 2 kinds of moves you can make. You can do the hop move where you hop over a bunch of pieces, or you can do the cuck move. And the cuck move is basically one you only take if you can't do anything else, where you just move a kangaroo 1 space in any direction. Yeah, the rules definitely call it that in this children's family game. But the hop move is the interesting one because the way it works is you pick a kangaroo that is the pivot point and you hop over it the same number of spaces as the distance between you and that kangaroo. So like if you're right next to it, you jump over the pivot kangaroo. But let's say you're 3 spaces away, you literally do like a 6-space jump over that kangaroo onto the other side. So you can create some crazy slingshot moves where you like position a kangaroo so it goes like boom, 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 and it like shoots above like a huge distance. And it's nice because it's almost like a built-in catch-up mechanic. The further up you are in the race, the more you're winning, but also you don't have anything to jump over. And also the further behind you are, the larger the distance jump that you're going to be able to make over some of the kangaroos that are there. So it becomes a game of like manipulating the tempo of how you move your 5 kangaroos and also like positioning them so they can ride off of each other. And also you can take advantage of opponents' pieces too. Here's an extra juicy thing. It's not just one move. Basically, if you hop and you land in a position where you can hop over another kangaroo, you can just keep going. And so you can get these crazy plays where you're like the very back of the line with one of your kangaroos and you just and you feel super smart when you're doing it because you can like traverse the entire course in one play. I didn't mention this, but you don't win when you cross the finish line. You win when all 5 of your kangaroos cross the finish line. So it's very important to be able to do those slingshots and for none of the kangaroos to get so far behind that they have no way to catch up or move across the racing track. Yeah, I really enjoyed this. I want to play it again. I think my one concern is the analysis paralysis because there's just so many moves you can make that I was starting to get that 5 tribes feeling of like I'm looking at every piece on the board and every possible move that they can make. But I think if you tell people like just take a turn and you got to keep going, then it can be like a really breezy and enjoyable game. I think everyone at the table had a good time with this. And I feel like you would like it.
I liked what it looked like. The thing that I do kind of agree with you on this is that there's some concern with the headiness of it. I think the way I saw it from the outside, because I was watching you play this with other people, it looked like y'all were playing chess with each other, like 5D chess, and you just like had to be like boom, boom, like enter the Matrix mindset. You know, like do an enter the Matrix mindset to get those pieces where you wanted to be. And every turn, it was like heads down, deep in thought. It's really funny that it has this toy-like kangaroo models and stuff, but the actual gameplay is like, like people like burning every muscle in their mind to like figure out how to like secure the win.
Yeah, if you play with kids or parents, they're going to make very small moves and just keep the game moving forward, but you're going to win. So you kind of have to be okay with that, like either playing like a really garbage game or just absolutely decimating your kids, which neither one is ideal.
Yeah. Me when I play tic-tac-toe.
Yeah, exactly. You will never beat me, child. Totally spot on. It's definitely like a 4-player chess. So that was Billabong or Hightail It from 1992.
All right, Kenny. Well, I've been listening to Richard Garfield interviews lately. I don't know if you've heard of this guy. He invented a card game or two in the past. Netrunner notably being one of them. But one of the other card games that he invented is Spynet from 2017. This is also known by the name Shadow Blades. published by Z-Man.
That's Z-Man for our UK and
Z-Man.
Australia listeners.
Yeah, if you're in Australia.
And Canada?
Yeah, I think they also do the Z thing.
So it's
I think
just
we're
us.
the
It's
weirdos.
just- we're the weirdos, okay.
In the English-speaking world. Spynet is... You ever heard of a Winston draft?
Did someone say peanut butter?
For those who don't know, a Winston draft is Richard Garfield's vision for a 2-player way to draft Magic cards. You have a pile of cards in the center, and then you make 3 piles, a single card each. On your turn, you look at a pile, and you either take that card or you put it back. When you put it back, you put another card on top of it. You don't get to see that next card, but then you look at the next pile, and so on and so forth. If you don't like any of the piles, you just draw from the top of the deck. And then your opponent now has a turn where they're going to be looking at beefier piles. But the sooner they take a pile of cards, the less information they get about what you left behind, et cetera, et cetera. And so there's a lot of interesting decisions to be made in drafting this way. And I've done this with Magic Cubes before. Well, Spynet is basically what if you just took that mechanic, that idea for a drafting game, and then basically had lane battling going on as the actual mode of achieving points or victory in this game. And so it's very light, it's breezy, easy to pick up and understand. And then the complexity just kind of unfolds as you're going through it. And you're starting to realize I need to invest more in this. And then of course some of the spies have powers that trigger when they get put into play. Stuff is just constantly a little bit in flux. I've only played this once, so this is a first impressions thing, but I really enjoyed this enough that I think I want to revisit it quite a lot. I'd love, I already am way behind whatever my fucking, whatever my New Year's resolution was to play 100 games, 4 games, 25 times, I think is what I ultimately settled on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of in a moment where I'm move over Sky Team. I'm going to Spynet it up. Because your names sound familiar for a bit. I think it's a really cool 2-player battling game that's easy to set up, easy to just jump into and flow with a lot of potential depth there. So
I like that you're looking at your resolutions and you're I can't do this. I'm going to set another one for myself.
Yeah, I'm just going to play
always a good way.
25 plays of Spynet instead of Sky Team. That's how I feel right now.
I think that's what Dave Ramsey said, right? When you have goals that you feel you can't achieve, set more goals. I think that's his whole philosophy.
That sounds accurate given everything I know about Dave Ramsey. So yeah.
He says, put your old goals in an envelope and then to make yourself
and
12
just forget
new
about
goals.
them. Yeah.
Just forget about the old ones.
Hey, but I recently brewed some chicken stock, so progress is being made.
Do you know how close you are to getting a bingo by any chance?
No, I'd have to look at it again. That'll be some other episode.
Okay,
we'll talk about that. The only other thing I want to say about Spynet is that this is Richard Garfield. It seems that in the interviews that I've listened to of him recently, and I've just been interested in his career all of a sudden. It seems that Spynet is the game that he talks about most when he talks about his own underrated designs. And that it seems almost like this is a sore spot for him where he's just I wish more people would actually play this game because I think it's pretty cool. And it seems like there's a lot of Netrunner and Magic players in particular that he feels are overlooking this one. And I kind of see where he's coming from with this.
I mean, I really like Winston Draft. I like the overall premise, so I'd definitely be interested in playing this with you, Tom.
Yeah, for sure.
Spynet from 2017. Choo choo! We're coming on to the train corner. There's not even a train on the cover of this box, Tom, so I'm sorry. You don't have anything to rate in terms of attractiveness. We're talking about 18MS, The Railroads Come to Mississippi from 2020. Designed by Mark Derrick and published by All Aboard Games.
What are you talking about? There's a train on the box.
18MS?
On the box cover that I'm seeing, you can see the back of a train. You don't see the engine.
Oh, there's a silhouette in the background.
It's one of the rarest game boxes where the train is driving away from you.
Yeah, because you weren't able to get to it by the time the game ended.
Yeah.
So I think this is an interesting one because I think the entire conceit of 18MS is to create a game that streamlines and creates a pacing for 18xx so that you can teach it to a brand new player, and you can also play it in like one sitting. Like you can play it in the time it takes to play other middleweight Euro kind of games. Like legitimately, you can play this in 2 hours, maybe 2.5 hours with the teach, which that's impressive for an 18xx game where they typically take like 3 to 8 hours to play. The problem is that what it sacrifices in the process is like the usual pacing of the game. I mean, it's like these games are supposed to take a long time. They're supposed to have an arc. And I feel like in 18ms, it felt like we were being rushed on stage. Like we were putting on a play of like creation of the railroads. And then there was just like a director that was like, you're going on in 1 minute, go, 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 in terms of buying stock, setting up the railroads. We just felt like, oh shit, it's already halfway through the game and I haven't done anything. Like, I know that it still ends up being 2 hours. So it's not like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, I love this.
But I think that speaks to how important the timing is in those 18xx games, right? They're not long for the sake of it. They require that amount of time to develop. And the entire time you're playing it, it feels like the pacing is correct. While I admire what 18ms is able to do, my feelings about it at first were like, oh, nice. This is going to be an 18xx game I can bring to game night. But I came out of it like, this is an 18xx game that I would be happy to use as teaching material, but I would never volunteer to play it on a weeknight myself just because of it feeling so rushed and so constricting in what you can do kind of thing.
Do you feel like there would be a sense to which that if this were someone's first 18x game, that there would be almost a disservice done to them where you're like, this isn't really what 18xx is about, but it'll give you, the basics. You'll understand stock brokerage or whatever the fuck goes on in these games.
I think you're on to something. Like, I feel like because you're missing the pace, people might feel more overwhelmed. Like they would understand all the rules and how it works, but they would come out of it like, I don't know that I want to play games like this. Even if you like put a disclaimer, like this isn't how they usually play out. This is like a speedrun version. Like I feel like it might leave a bad taste for some people where I would rather just spend the additional like 3 hours playing Shikoku with them, for example, or 1830. For me, 18ms was kind of a miss because even for its particular intent, I feel like it might not necessarily be fulfilling for the exact reasons you said, Tom. But I don't know. I guess I would have to test this with people who have never played, and I don't know that I want to do that.
Right.
I think right now, my thoughts still stand where they used to be. I think Shikoku is the way to go for a first game. Just because it's so pretty and it's streamlined enough while giving you the full 18xx experience.
I'm still waiting for the day that I get to Shikoku it up.
Yeah, we almost did it.
We almost did, but I was committed to a very different plan.
That was 18ms.
Speaking of a very different plan that I was committed to, this is what we did instead of playing Shikoku. We played Seas of Strife from 2015, designed by Mark Major and published by AMIGO. Rest in peace, AMIGO.
Oh, AMIGO US.
Seas of Strife, you've already talked about this game. The irony is, I forgot that you already talked about this game, but that's not entirely true. So the real story is that you played this game, and I never took a close look at it. You were playing it like literally 5 feet away from me, but I was too busy dunking on the big boss and Aeon's End to like be concerned with whatever kind of silly trick taking shit. I
also talked about it on the podcast, so you're like nodding your head, like I guess we didn't have a picture of it up on the screen or anything. Well, it's just words,
exactly.
So,
that's what I'm saying. It's like you talked about it, and I never somehow internalized the name Seas of Strife. It's funny how the brain works. I think it really just is that I didn't have this visual conception of the cover.
This bozo gets into the car and pops out Seas of Strife that he rented at the library. He's like, have you heard of this game? And I was like, are you doing a bit right now? He's like, I think it sounds pretty cool from reading the background. And I was just like, oh my God, like he literally does not listen to me when we do the podcast. Like
you know what? You caught React.
Yeah, in your defense, when I started explaining the part I talked about, you're like, oh, that's right.
Yeah. But yeah, so now I know what this game looks like, and I got to play it myself, and it is fun. It's fascinating that it reverses the trick-taking concept, but it's still like the game feel is still trick-taking. you're still sitting there going like this number or that number. Your options are always limited by the cards that have been played before. If you're like me, you're always worried and second guessing that like in the round prior, you actually forgot to follow the rule where you have to follow the color. I think I've gotten to a point where it's like second nature. So now my brain is going like, are you actually following the lead suit? You know what I mean? After the fact, it's just like, hold on, I didn't do anything wrong, right? Yeah, this game's pretty cool, pretty fun. I recommend it. Basically 2 thumbs up from us, right? What more can we say?
I mean, I 3 thumbs up from me. I don't know where the third thumb is coming from, but
I don't want to know where the third thumb is.
I'm notoriously bad at this game, and yet I still want to play it again and again. This was the first time we played it 5-player, and I've like lost terribly every time we've played it. I won this game. I just want to put that out there. I don't think that contributes to what you're commenting about. I just wanted to get it on record. I finally won a game of Seas of Strife, y'all. And I did it. Yeah. I did it with gusto. Okay. It wasn't just I lucked out. So.
Oh yeah. You pwned us. You know, congratulations where it's due. I'll say this, but it kind of sounds to me like because it was the first time you played at 5, it's just like, well, if you're having trouble understanding this game, just play it at 5 because then it's not a skill issue. It's just random.
The sick bird.
Yeah. No, but we'll definitely have to table this one more. It's good.
The Seas of Strife.
Talk about shelf stable. We might have to consider putting it in the cannon.
Oh, that's true. The pantry's coming up.
We'll see.
100 games to play before you die.
All right, Kenny, it's time to talk about the 100 games that when you play all 100 of them, you end up dying. And game number 51. So it's a spooky incentive, right? So this is Halloween thematic. Yeah. Game number 51 on this list of the 100 spookiest games that will kill you is Lords of Waterdeep from 2012, designed by Peter Lee and Rodney Thompson, published by Wizards of the Coast.
More like Lords of Water Creep.
Ooh, Lords of Waterdeep. Kenny, why is this on the list?
Because it's the most bare bones, the core of worker placement / resource management / contract fulfillment. It's like the worker placement game, you know? It's the one that you're like, I've never played one of these. And then you're like, oh, I'll play this with you.
Is Stone Age on the list? I can't remember. Isn't it earlier up? Oh, okay.
But Stone Age has the gambling with the dice thing. But I did put it as an alternative recommendation for this slot. The reason that it's Waterdeep, and it's not Bus, and it's not Stone Age, and it's not Agricola. Well, Agricola is an interesting one, but it's not Kalis. It's because I think Waterdeep is the one that really gets to the heart of the mechanism and what's interesting about it and gets that oomph moment.
Well, and it seems to resonate a lot with a lot of people. Yeah, it seems to resonate with a lot of
people. I recognize that it's a polarizing game. I would even go as far as to say that there are people who really like worker placement that don't like this game. But my argument is that if you have no sort of frame of reference for worker placement and you start with this is a really good point to see if you want to delve deeper into this particular kind of game. And then maybe later on you go look back on Waterdeep and you're like, yeah, that was not as good as X or Y, but at least at its core, it's I don't know. I feel like it's just a really good introduction to this whole theme.
Yeah, I was going to say, I largely agree with you. I think that I don't quite understand the hype with Lords of Waterdeep. I like worker placement. I wouldn't say I hate Lords of Waterdeep. I mostly just I don't get it. I've played it a handful of times and every time I'm just like, I be trading cubes. You know what I mean? It's not doing something more for me, but it is kind of doing everything very well. I sort of get it from that sense, but it always just, to me, it's a little dull. I do think it's possible that if we skip over the part of my life where I play Power Grid, Dominion, or any of that, and this is the first game that introduces me to the wider hobby, I probably would be cock blown off. I'd be there are people that for whom this is still a game of all games. And that's the part where I'm not quite sure what I'm missing.
That might be nostalgia.
So the funny story with this is that recently I was out with Helena at a quilting store, and there was this much older woman. I mean, 70s minimum. You know, what happened was I was talking about wanting some fabric to make some drawstring bags to pull tiles out of for samurai. all I said was, I'm looking to make some bags for using them in a board game. And then she kind of started on the topic, and then she was like, yeah, I play games a lot with my kids. I every Tuesday we meet up and have like a game night. And I was just like, oh, that's awesome. And she's just like, yeah, one of my favorites, I think, has got to be Lords of Waterdeep.
Oh.
And she was hitting me, and she was like, I've liked Great Western Trail, some of these others. And I'm just like, getting like blown away. Just like usually when people say they have a game night, I'm just like, okay, it's like Bridge, it's Monopoly. But shout out to her for that and for playing games with her kids, like Lords of Waterdeep. So, that's what I'm saying. It's like it stretches across all possible like barriers, I suppose, and it penetrates, and it just is like a game that people are out here enjoying.
Shout out to all the old gamers out there. And we got more worker placement to come. So if people are like pulling their hair out, like this is the one game that they put on for, don't worry. There's a few more that are more tied to the particular designer, for example. So
yeah, you can't really get away from it as a mechanic because you would just end up excluding so many games.
Right, exactly.
All right, enough bullshitting and yapping, whatever the fuck kind of spooky season ass. I should do a better job of coming up with these whack ass segues type shit or something like that. It's time to get into the main topic of this week's episode. Is it Kiki or is it Boba? The real meat and potatoes, the meat Kiki, the potato Bobas. We're going to figure out which one's Kiki, which one's Boba in this episode, the part of the show that people come back week after week to hear us talk about. And this time we're doing some React content again.
So there was an experiment, I think it was in the 1920s, where they were trying to test for like sound symbolism, basically, or just see if there was like a general tendency for things. Scientists gave a bunch of people two objects. One looked like a spiky thing and one looked like a blobby, almost like a piece of coral or something. I think they were just
2D illustrations even.
Yeah, they were 2D illustrations. And then they were like, which one of these is Kiki and which one of these is Boba? And pretty much everyone worldwide amongst many different cultural and linguistic communities were like, oh, the spiky one is definitely Kiki and the blobby one is Boba. And so the question became like, is this the case in this situation? Is this the case in this situation? If they have no writing system, if they have no speech, like in young children and stuff like that, if you're congenitally blind and things like that. Yeah. And sometimes there was a little bit of a difference.
But it seemed like there was a very strong trend that we associated these phonetic sounds with these shapes. Yeah. Which is interesting to say.
We're going to take a way less scientific approach to this. I just want to preface that. This is very vibes-based for content kind of bullshit. Like, I don't want people coming out of this and being like, they didn't even really, they didn't define what they meant by blah, blah, blah. And Tom, I think it'll be more fun to not create definitions beforehand and to just start talking about games and be like, oh yeah, that's so Boba, or something like that.
Well, the hard part about it, right, I think is like, how do we choose what we're going through the list of? Because there was a sense at which I was like, maybe we go like the 100 games, but I feel like that could get almost kind of tired.
We can do like large swaths, right? We can be like, this is very Boba, and here's why. I was going to say we could also do the mechanics possibly, but maybe it makes more sense to just do a whole game. I say we let the games themselves take our hands and pull us in whatever direction we want. Okay. I know that's a very Boba take, but maybe we start there. I'm very upset. Tom, do you want to give the results?
Yes, thank you to everybody on our Patreon who replied to the poll. Let me actually get this pulled up.
And provided their unsolicited comments, I should add too. It wasn't just responding to the poll.
Yeah. For only $3 a month, you can join our Discord. You can participate in discussions like this. So I asked, which of us is the Boba? Which of us is the Kiki? 7 out of 10 votes. Tom is Kiki and Kenny is Boba, which is exactly what I said. But Kenny, you don't agree.
I think I'm Kiki. I think we're both Kiki.
Maybe in like a broader social context, but I think...
Because there was a lot of discussions about like context matters. If we're comparing you to me, you are more Kiki than I am. If it's like a gradient.
I'm Kikier. Yeah.
You're Kikier and I'm Boba. But I still think I lean on, like if we're playing Wavelength and one side was Boba and one side was Kiki, I feel like I would land like near the middle, but still on the Kiki side. Whereas like you're closer to the very Kiki end of things.
I don't know though. I feel as if like I would probably put you toward the middle, but like slight Boba.
Oh my God.
I think even just in the abstract myself. Which I just think it's fascinating because it's like the how you see yourself versus how other people see you.
Yeah, I think there's part of that too. Yeah,
which admittedly is a bit disorienting.
I don't know. I genuinely feel like I'm more of a Kiki, but
what do you think it is that makes you Kiki? I'm curious to know.
I think I'm very open about things I have to say, and I'm a hipster to a certain extent. And
yeah, I do think the contrarianism does lend itself in the Kiki direction, but you're also like a teetotaler and a semi-vegetarian, so like that puts you back in toward the Boba camp.
But that's also punk rock though. Like caring about animals is definitely Kiki. You think it's more of a Boba thing?
I feel like it has Boba vibes. If it's like, I don't eat the schmeats because I want rabbits and cows and pigs to live lives of peace.
It's weird because like being a good person is a very Boba thing, but it takes Kiki energy. Fighting the system is a Kiki thing. So it's like both those things go hand in hand.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from. You see yourself as an anti-authoritarian type a little bit, and then other people are like, yeah, but you're really like gentle about it. And you're like, no, guys, like I'll throw a grenade at someone or something. Like I don't know.
The outcome of this whole conversation is that I'm just going to become more of an asshole, both on the podcast and in real life. Like,
you're like, I got to get my Kiki stats up.
I got to get my Kiki on.
Yeah. I got to become the Joker.
To be clear, I fully agree you're more Kiki than I am, but I still think I'm Kiki. But you know what?
Okay.
We can have what people perceive versus what I feel personally too. So,
yeah. I don't think I'm gonna tell you like you can't call yourself Kiki, right? Like that gets into weird space real quick. I'm just saying you could be a Kiki with Boba vibes. That's totally fine.
Do you think it's a gradient? Can you be like a pure Boba Kiki hybrid? Is that like a thing?
We're inventing non-binaryism for Boba Kiki.
There's a Boki and
the
Kiba.
Boki, yeah.
The Boki.
I like Boki personally. I think like So
Kiba gives a little bit too much Yu-Gi-Oh vibe. So yeah, let's go with Boki. So what is the baseline? I got a hot take.
Okay.
I think Waterdeep is our Boki, since we're talking about it.
I think Waterdeep is Boba hard though.
Why is it hard Boba?
I think the thing that I think holy shit. The first thing that I think when I think of Waterdeep is low interaction. Now it's an indirect like blocking each other for the space type of stuff, but it is not there's no take that, there's no punishing.
Well, no,
there's no warfare, territory.
There's the mandatory quest and there's
there's a little
like
bit
take
in
that
there.
cards.
I don't know how much of that is expansion content either.
Is this all gonna boil down to Euro versus American? Is it just that Boba is Euro and Kiki, or like low interaction is Boba and high interaction is Kiki? I'm a little afraid of that being the scenario.
I mean, this is a good concern to bring up. So it's like the real question is, if we start to categorize games into the Boba, it's like we need to find the Kiki that you would expect is Boba and then provide the justification for that, right?
Oh, like find the counter argument?
Are you kind of, let's start with Lords of Waterdeep and let's say that we can't do any kind of Boki cop out, right?
Okay.
So we're just gonna go Boba on this one. How do you think?
I think that's fine. Okay. It's Boba.
Yeah. So here comes Brass Birmingham.
See, that's tough.
That's what I'm calling it now.
I think that's another Boki.
I think it's way more Boki. Like it's way more in the middle of the spectrum than Lords of Waterdeep.
I think you value interaction, so you want to make it more like you want to put it in the Kiki side, but there's a lot of Euro-y kind of like we're enjoying, Oh, I happen to have messed this thing.
Yeah. But there's spikiness to it. There's the tension of it. I feel as if the tensions in Brass are weightier and more substantial than the ones in Lords of Waterdeep. And then on top of that, there's literal like rail spikes. Technically, if you really want to dig down into it, there's iron.
Doing like
there's coal.
thematic Kiki.
So like is raw iron a Boba thing or a Kiki thing?
I think rocks and iron are Kiki, and wood and agriculture are Boba.
Yeah, okay. I think I'm with you. So, like, most of Uwe Rosenberg's games then are Boba.
Uwe
so,
is straight up Boba. Like,
it's
Uwe
Boba maxing.
is Boba maxing with the exception of Bonanza, which I think is like a little bit closer to Kiki, but still probably Boba.
Actually, I think I have another one for you. Tangram City.
That's so Boba.
That's Kiki.
I mean, the shapes are Kiki, but the game itself is Boba.
I think its vibe is Kiki to me. I kind of see where you're coming from, but it's like
I don't think any game without a central board or like a central interaction is gonna make it into Kiki for me. That's too big of a thing.
So where are you putting Scythe then in this case? Now I'm curious.
I think Scythe is like more on the Boba, but it's close to Boki.
Well, right. So you can't cop out. Then where is it landing? The Boba side, you think?
I don't know. But you agree with me, right? Like Scythe is more Boba?
I think it does lean Boba at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It does seem like it wants to be Kiki, but it doesn't quite get there.
Scythe is me. I've found myself in board games.
Yeah.
Scythe wants to be a Kiki, but everyone knows it's a Boba.
Yeah. This is a good one here. Twilight Struggle, the 2-player Cold War card game.
Oh, it's hella Kiki.
I agree.
You could say that the passive aggressiveness is a little Boba, but like at the end of the day, we all know Twilight Struggle is Kiki.
Yeah. Great Western Trail?
That's a tough one. What do you think?
I think it veers over into Kiki because there's a meta context where it has a problematic history.
Problematic is Kiki.
A little bit. It's like there's like it's not abrasiveness per se, but it's like unevenness, the edginess kind of.
Yeah.
Of the somewhat racist decision making.
I'm
not necessarily going to count that against it, though. Maybe.
I don't want to put problematic behavior and edginess into Kiki because that feels weird to me.
Well, because then you'll be like, now I want to be more Boba because I don't want to be
I just don't
problematic guy.
I think that behavior trends. I think there are some things that aren't associated with either.
We need a word for that. We need a word for the nether of
the nether. We're just called the nether.
Kiki.
Yeah, the nether. It's like it's a Venn diagram, and there's stuff outside of the Venn diagram.
No, there's only Boba or Kiki. There is nothing.
What's your infamous quote? Like, for the sake of content, I'm gonna absolve myself from nuance or whatever. Like,
yeah. I will rid myself of nuance for the sake of content. I'm always saying that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll concede that point, and I still think Great Western Trail ends up becoming a bit Kiki, and I think it's just largely because you're kind of fucking with everything that you come across, and like you're doing a Manifest Destiny, the board game. Like,
well, also there's like the money please, where you like put a tile right where somebody wants to go, and they have to pay that person every time they go through it and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. You're charging other players taxes. When you're not doing that, you're like blowing shit up to like make room for your stuff.
Yeah.
I haven't played this game in a while.
I think people are going to disagree with this take, but I think I'm with you where it's like a light Kiki.
It's a Kiki in disguise. Like it wants itself to be Boba because it's selling you on this idea of like, you're just a cozy homesteader. And then it's like the violence of homesteading is actually like baked into the mechanics. Just, you know what I mean? Like, whether it was by accident or not, it's like there.
Can I hit you with a hard one?
Yeah.
What is LCR?
Yeah. Wow.
Because it's not even anything, right? It's like devoid of properties.
Yeah, let's put it in the nether. All right. It's
you think it's LCR neither. It's in the nether.
I am gonna lean boba, and my rationale is that it's not really much of a game. I mean, it's literally gambling.
Tom, you can't just make everything cool Kiki and everything lame
What?
boba.
What am I?
Tom's like, I like this game, Kiki.
Yeah, that's the real truth. What did I say? I guess brass. You know what? I would be I'd be willing to backpedal on brass. It can be boba if you want to if you need that to take me seriously.
No,
but like LCR,
I think I'm with you. It's like a Boki that's like slightly more Kiki.
boba-ness arises from its like non-existence as a experience.
You know what's funny about this episode?
Yeah.
I know for a fact there are people that listen to this at work with their headphones on. But probably more so than the episodes that have like really inappropriate content. This is probably the one where if like a coworker overheard you, they'd be like, "What are you listening to?"
Yeah, they would be like, it would literally sound like alien language. That's why I think it'd be great if we could invent more words to like really fuck this up for people.
What's a good like random alien word generator? Random.
He can't let his own creativity take over. Google's got to do it for us.
Well, I mean, because otherwise I'm gonna say a word and it's gonna be a real word that's like racist or something, you know?
What? What's the guarantee that the thing you're Googling not going to do that?
I don't know.
How would you know?
Okay, I went on randomwordgenerator.com. I typed in generate one word. It gave me the word snack.
There you go. There it is, folks.
Okay, wait. Word type, fake word generator. There we go. Number of fake words. I'm going to give you 10 words. You tell me which one is the most nether sounding.
Okay.
Ablizorm, exiling, tulp, custasin, nuck, nellite, te, yek, budworry, aranacking.
I think I like Nellite.
Nellite?
Yeah, so
Okay, now we Google that to make sure it's not something.
we have boba things, Kiki things, we have Nellite things, and Nellite things are not boba or Kiki.
Yeah, so LCR is nellite.
It sounds almost like we're saying like vanilla light, like as if it's like a like a Bud Light for vanilla.
LCR is nellite. Kiki is things Tom's likes. And boba is everything else.
That sounds right to me. Where are we putting root?
Root is hella Kiki.
Agreed.
Root is like a pretend boba that's Kiki. It's like the opposite of Scythe. Come play this nice boba game. And then it's like, gotcha. You're stuck now. Enjoy living in Kiki hell.
Yeah, wingspan. Boba.
I think it's like way boba.
Ultra boba. Boba extreme.
Boba, boba, boba. What is it? What's the name of that show?
Boba.
Boba, boba, boba. What are the most Kiki and the most boba games?
I think Fields of Arl is a Boba Max game.
Yes, Fields of Arl is the most boba game in the world. Yes, I can get behind that.
And then the most Kiki game of all time, I'm actually kind of struggling to come up with something.
What about Warhammer 40K?
That's pretty Kiki.
Because like Twilight Imperium has boba-like elements to it, especially 4th edition.
Yeah. We talked about Twilight Struggle earlier. I think that is like a pretty extremely Kiki game, but I don't know if it's like the most Kiki of all time.
I think a lot of GMT games are very Kiki.
Where are you putting Blood Rage?
Blood Rage is very near the middle too. Thematically, it's pure Kiki, but like when you actually play it, you're like, I see some boba. The cool cousin of Scythe. It's a middle, but it's leaning more on Kiki, whereas Scythe is middle, but leaning more on boba. For some reason, I always pit Scythe against Blood Rage. Like I feel like they're like in a battle for hybridism or something.
I can kind of see where you're coming from with that. The battle of the bobas.
The battle of the bobas. Kiki v boba. Now, if Kiki and boba fought, Kiki would win, unfortunately.
Here's a good one then. Pandemic.
Oh, that is tough.
Right?
That's a really tough one. My initial reaction is it's still more Kiki, but it's like, it's very much near the middle.
I mean, the experience of pandemic is that your team of Bobas are battling the Kiki like invasion. Like, you know, that's literally like the vibe. It's like the game is Kiki. The experience of playing the game is Boba, but it's like Beaky. It's like Beakoba for sure.
Beakoba.
I think I lean Kiki overall though.
Yeah, you lean Kiki for sure.
Because it's ultimately like it's viral warfare. Like
I lean Kiki too.
Yeah, it's like the firefighting vibes are definitely Kiki sided.
Are there any Kiki Nellite hybrids or Boba Nellites? Maybe like positional abstracts, like Yinch. Like Yinch is like a Kiki Nellite.
This is great. Yeah, we. What's that series of games called?
GIF series. Yeah.
Yeah. This is the perfect content. Lightning round, real quick. You just have to tell me whether it's Boba or Kiki.
Okay.
Each one. Okay. GIF.
Kiki.
Czar.
Boba Nellite.
Zerts.
Oh, definitely Kiki.
Devon.
A pure Nellite.
Punkt.
Is that really one of them?
Yeah.
You're not just making shit up.
I'm not.
I'm gonna say that's also a Boba Nellite.
Yinch.
That's like Kiki Nellite.
Link.
Middle. Kibo.
Tamsk.
Wait, can I change that one? It's a
Okay, Link.
It's a Kibo Nell. It's all three.
Oh my god. the lack of commitment to the bit. Tamsk. This is the last one.
Kiki. Just straight up Kiki.
Apparently Tamsk was replaced by Tsar.
I didn't know you could replace them. Like names or like it's a different game?
Well, it's like a fundamentally different game because I think the problem was that Tamsk had hourglass pieces and he was like, this doesn't fit my vision. And so Tsar ended up becoming its.
Yeah, Chris Byrne really do be just like doing his own little Carl Chuddick style alien behavior over here.
We love him for it. I actually want to play through all of these because I've only played, I think, one, and I think it was Zerts.
Yeah.
I don't even remember. Might have been Yinch. Anyway, now we've got the definitive facts out there for that.
It's official. You have the cipher. Now you can go and discover the treasure from the back of the Declaration of Independence.
Yeah, and when you need something to fall asleep to at the end of the day, go back and, clip that like minute there where we were just making those sounds and just listen to that. We have one, I think, final, very important one that we need to do that we almost missed. The Settlers of Catan, now known as Catan.
I think it's light Kiki. Euro, but in the very traditional sense, like German Euro games that have high interactivity. So yeah, I think it's light Kiki.
I'd almost put it in light Boba, where it's like it's. I see the Kikiness, don't get me wrong, but I think that the long-term feel ends up creating a Boba.
Do you think trading as a whole is more Kiki or more Boba?
I'd say it's a Kiki-like mechanic, yeah.
It's a Kiki-like that can be present in Boba games.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing is that Catan, it can be cutthroat, and it probably is mostly in tournament environments, but the actual history of playing at the table, in homes around the world, I think it's Boba, where it's mostly people trying to make reasonable deals to help each other build their houses.
Yeah. Spoken like a Kiki.
I think we got some kind of content brewing over here.
I think that was good. I mean, we don't usually do postmortems, but like I think that was enjoyable.
In media res postmortem right now. Yeah. I think we nailed it. Yeah. You know what? I agree. That's going to do it for this week's episode. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you especially to our Patreon subscribers. And thank you, of course, to Michael, Tyler, Devon, and Josh of the Boise RainBeaus for your sweet segue music. Thank you to Bonehouse for letting us use your song Rot as our opening theme.
If you're loving the cast, share with a friend or on Reddit or on BGG. You can also reach out to us directly at shelfstablecast@gmail.com. All this and more in the show notes. And if you like what we're doing and want to do more of it, just consider subscribing on Patreon. Tom, what are we doing next week?
Next week, Kenny, we're going to try something a little bit different. I want us to elevate ourselves, we're going to start a book club.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
I think that sounds great to me.
So my recent obsession with Richard Garfield has led me to his book, Characteristics of Games, which he wrote with Scaff Elias and K. Robert Gutschera. Try and find a copy of this book. Check out your local library. We're always all about the local library around here. And see if you can't read the first chapter, which is called Basics. So the introduction, which starts on page 1, through the end of Characteristic Heuristics, which is the name of the subchapter. And if you don't read along, that's totally fine. What we're going to do is summarize the chapter for you, and you can just listen to us yap about what we read about and learned about in Richard Garfield's Characteristics of Games.
Sounds great. Thank you, Tom.
See you then.
Bye, everyone.